This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1726. Our Kids Need Unstructured Play Outdoors. How to Get More, by Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Optimal Relationships Daily, another parenting edition for you. I'm your host and narrator, Greg Audino. So glad to have you back once again, and this time for an article that really leans into the true nature of childhood, I think. I feel like this post will come with a lot of both inspiration and nostalgia for those listening. So let's get right to it as we give Emma Scheib's work the floor and start optimizing your life. Our Kids Need Unstructured Play Outdoors. How to Get More, by Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com. Most of my favorite memories as a child were of the unstructured play outdoors. The games of hide and seek in a forest of pine trees, the potions we made out of mud, flowers, and grass. I'm sure we played backyard sports or went on family hikes, but these aren't the things I remember. It's the unstructured time we had to explore and follow our curiosities. And what I actually remember aren't the specifics, but the feelings. I felt a sense of safety, reassurance, joy, and belonging. A sense that this is where I was meant to be. And this is what I was meant to be doing. Time spent in nature is an investment into our children's health and well-being, and it's an invaluable gift to them. The benefits of time outside. The research literature is full of wide-ranging benefits to children from increased exposure to the great outdoors. Physical effects include better general health and longer nighttime sleep. Sold. Time outside is also a protective factor against obesity. Cognitively, children who spend more time outdoors have higher levels of concentration, a better working memory, and better control over impulsivity. And close proximity to green space is found to be significant in predicting better mental health and emotional adjustment for children. The benefits of unstructured play. Alongside this, there is ample evidence that unstructured play makes an important contribution to brain development, social skills, and language and math skills. Unstructured play has been associated with decreases in anxiety. My youngest daughter and I are currently journeying with anxiety brought on by our national lockdown through the pandemic, and we've experienced firsthand the positive effects of this type of play. When she's left to roam outside and get creative with whatever she finds, she's more likely to fall asleep earlier, and is often calmer and less likely to be worrying about the next day. How to facilitate more unstructured play outdoors. Getting unstructured time outdoors isn't necessarily as easy as it sounds. In between school, dance classes, homework, chores, and screen time, there's always a reason why we don't do it. It's a bit tricky if you're starting out, too. Children who have always been given the next thing to do will possibly struggle when finally left to their own devices. But push through their complaints of being bored, because just past that is where the magic happens. My kids have built countless box forts and fairy potions, and played for hours on the trampoline and with the animals. Their imaginations never cease to amaze me. Here are a few ways to help them get more time outdoors. Limit screen time. Increased access to a variety of screens for children is the biggest roadblock for most families in getting more outdoors time. Having boundaries around screen time is pretty standard these days, and we keep ours very simply via a link to our router, which allows us to turn off the internet for each device in our home. I honestly believe that screen time boundaries work best and have the most impact when they are done as a family. Try setting aside a whole day a week with no screens. Lead by example. This is one of the best ways that our children learn good habits. Make it a habit to immerse yourself in unstructured playtime outside. This might look like pottering in the garden with no real agenda, or a forest walk with no planned route. But mostly it means paying attention to your curiosities and making way for the spontaneous. Some of my best runs, my favorite play activity, have been on an unplanned route for an unspecified amount of time. Send them out for a treasure hunt. Obviously, a treasure hunt is more of a structured activity, but the idea here is just to get them outside. Leave them to it and wait and watch. If your kids are anything like mine, they may not stay on task, and that's okay. Let them roam and explore. The creative free play will flow. Under schedule. We have always had a guideline in our home of no more than one extracurricular activity per term. My 7-year-old has one dance class per week. This ensures that she's not overscheduled and running from one thing to the next. Consider swapping out one class for an afternoon exploring a local park or beach, or even your backyard. I feel like unstructured outdoor time gets easier as kids get older and are a little more independent. But start small. 10 minutes of this type of play outdoors most days will make a big difference. Need more? If you're looking for more ideas, I recommend these two books on my bookshelf. The first is a gorgeous coffee table book, 365 Nature, by Anna Carlisle. It has activities from crafts like pinch pots from clay to forest foraging for edible weeds. It's sorted by season, too. No excuses for not getting out in the winter. The second book, Vitamin N, The Essential Guide to a Nature-Rich Life, is by Richard Louv. Louv coined the term nature deficit disorder and wrote the best-selling book Last Child in the Woods. Vitamin N is a practical handbook, rich in research and full of ideas and stories from all over the world. For an online resource, I love 1000 Hours Outside, a blog and resource that challenges parents to get their kids outside for 1000 hours a year to match the average time spent on screens. Do whatever you can to give your kids more unstructured play outdoors. They will thrive, and your bond with them will be stronger. You just listened to the post titled, Your Kids Need Unstructured Play Outdoors. How to Get More, by Emma Scheib of SimpleSlowLovely.com.
Complete Easter meal options from Honey Baked come with almost everything you need for a delicious, convenient feast. From ready-to-serve slow-smoked ham and juicy turkey to tasty heat-and-serve sides and desserts perfect for any sweet tooth. The only thing they don't include is the basket and polyester bunny costumes. So, almost everything. Order your complete Easter meal and make your Easter golden. Only from the Honey Baked Ham Company at honeybaked.com/Easter.
This message is provided by Boehringer Ingelheim. Idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, or IPF, is one of the more common forms of progressive fibrosing interstitial lung diseases, with symptoms including breathlessness during activity, a dry and persistent cough, chest discomfort, fatigue, and weakness. There are more than 200 lung disorders that can lead to pulmonary fibrosis, an irreversible scarring of lungs that can negatively impact lung function, quality of life, and may become life-threatening. While approved treatments for people living with these diseases can help slow disease progression, new therapies are needed to help potentially stop progression. Fortunately, there is new research underway to assess the safety and efficacy of an investigational treatment in patients with IPF and other progressive ILDs. This is part of Boehringer Ingelheim's Phase 3 Global Fibroneer program. To learn more about Fibroneer and eligibility requirements, visit fibroneer-ipf.longboat.com and fibroneer-ild.longboat.com.
And thanks a lot to Emma for this post today. I really like this content, as that unstructured time outside does just feel like a necessary part of childhood, or at least something that we can't help but to associate childhood with. And if you're a parent who is maybe feeling a little bit lost on how to fill your child's schedule, especially in trying to keep up with how, normal is supposed to look for children in each passing generation, it does feel like a really good and simple idea to think about these types of things. What are those innate parts of childhood? For me, I think very much of time outside, yes. I think about cuts and bruises. I think about playtime. I think about naps. I think about time with friends. I think about, the sense of presence that comes with not having any type of agenda. And perhaps you think of it differently, but it seems to me that there are certain everlasting parts of being a kid that, when lost in the throes of parenthood, we can forget to allow our children. So don't forget to go back to your instincts sometimes, remember that innocence of childhood, and use that as your North Star when you find yourself planning a child's day or even trying to plan their future. But that'll do it for today, everybody. Good luck out there, parents, and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Wishing you all a great day and hoping to see you back here tomorrow for another post. That's where your optimal life awaits.